Well, 6 students have been giving their evidence here at the courthouse today. They've been telling a story of no safety briefing when they first got on the ferry bound for Jeju, how the Coast Guard rescuers were not able to get on board the ship to rescue them once it had begun to sink, but how they had to get themselves out of that sinking ship. And one student was describing how they were told to stay in their places, and they obediently did so until, he said, the water started coming in, first as a trickle and then as a gush that swept students off their feet. Of course, many of those high school students died in that disaster, and one can only imagine this must have been a particularly harrowing day for those in court, both those giving evidence, but also the families of those children who didn't survive this disaster, listening in court today to the evidence of the classmates, the surviving classmates of their sons and daughters. And the court itself had been at pains to make the process a little easier for the students who were giving evidence today. They moved the trial temporarily here to Ansan, the students' hometown, so they wouldn't have to travel halfway across the country to give their testimony. And they also restricted very closely who was allowed to be in court today to try and make them a little more comfortable. It's also thought that some students have been offered the chance to give their evidence via video or behind a screen, again to try and make the process a little less traumatic. This is a case that really has gone to the heart of many South Koreans, both for its human aspect, but also there's a sense of growing anger, I think, several months on from this disaster, about how the officialdom and how the regulations here in South Korea have let people down. And this is just one part of a very wide investigation that's going to take many more months to provide some answers.